Kings, and it was reported today that 3 prospects from the Kings have been named to the Canadian team for the World Junior Tournament coming up right after Christmas. Jonathan Bernier, Wayne Simmons, and Thomas Hickey. And right now joining us here in our booth is the Kings president and general manager Dean Lombardi. And Dean, it's got to make you very proud, very happy to see that those youngsters were named to Team Canada.
Yeah, those are the small victories you get when you're trying to build a team. And those kids had a great summer. They worked really hard in our development program, and to be representing your country in a tournament like that and to be the only team with 3 players on that team, that's a big step for us. So they're bona fide prospects.
Of course, we've seen Jonathan Bernier at the start of this year, but now Simmons was around in the exhibition season. Give us a progress report on him.
Well, he's actually come out of nowhere. He was one of the most sought-after players in Ontario. When I was out there last month, as it works out there, that he wasn't on a good team, and every good team wanted him, and he was just recently traded to the Sioux. And then he was so impressive. He come out of nowhere to get invited to that camp, and then he went out and made the team. So that's a great job by our scouting staff. You get a kid like that late in the 2nd round to come out of nowhere and make that team. You know, those are the type things that, you know, in the long run are going to pay off.
Right. Dean, I know that development is very important to you. Can you talk to us about some of the things that might not be that apparent when 3 young players like that go to a tournament like the World Juniors, what they can learn from that experience?
Well, I think the things are playing at a high level in a high-pressure situation, and I think, as you know, Foxy, you were there yourself, to put that maple leaf on, it's not only playing, but there's such a tradition in Canada in learning how to win, expecting to win. And I think those kids grow immeasurably playing in that environment where, you know, it's like Italian soccer. You go over there and you don't get gold, you get, you know, vegetables thrown at you when you come home. And I think that's a great learning experience for those kids.
How about in Manchester, Dean? You have a couple players down there that are drawing a lot of attention. So first of all, Teddy Purcell for most of the year, I think, leading the league in scoring. And then you have big Brian Boyle. Updates on those 2 guys?
I just spent 4 days down there, and I was really happy what we saw. We're a very young team. You know, last year we were winning, but we only had like 4 or 5 young players.
Right.
And this year we've got about 14 young players there. And what I'm seeing is, again, I think when they go through the development program, they start establishing the chemistry, they're really tight. It's almost like a college frat house down there. You know, and you got some 87 borns and 85 borns. They all live in the same area. And so, and I really like the biggest thing is we're starting to find that bridge between development and winning that's so crucial in the minors. And with Mike O'Connell's here with me now, and the coaches down there, they're getting that individualized instruction as well as learning how to win. So I was really pleased with some of the things I saw down there.
There's another youngster named in that junior tournament, Oscar Moeller, who belongs to the Kings. He's going to play for Sweden. But Jonathan Bernier, can you give us an update on his progress down in the Quebec League?
Well, he's bounced back. It's kind of funny. When I drove 6 hours to see him about a month and a half ago, and unfortunately he was god-awful. And but it's so funny, I saw Patrick Roy at the end of that trip, and he was telling me how this always happens to these young kids who get such a taste of the big time. There's such a huge letdown to go down there. But I walk in that rink, I saw him in warm-ups, the body language and everything was like, holy smoke. But, you know, he realized Billy Ranford had went down to see him, and hey, you got to get your act together now and make this World Junior team. And he turned it around, and, you know, obviously there he is today.
Well, Dean, thanks for joining us, and it's nice to get an update and look at the future of this team, and it seems pretty bright with all of those youngsters that are being named to that Canadian and to the Swedish team in the World Juniors. We're at the end of one. Our thanks to Dean Lombardi for joining us. The Dallas Stars have a 1-0 lead over the Kings. We'll be right back.